Good morning. Welcome to Board Game Barrister, our local game shop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm Andy, and I'm here with Elizabeth, Ian, and Glenn, and today is a very special day because we're taking a look back at our 10 favorite games that we think would make amazing gifts from the past year, 2023. Let's get into it. I got you a hamburger. I think it might have been your hamburger, but now it's yours again.
I also got you a hamburger.
No, I don't think it is. Yeah! That's Not a Hat is a great little game in a tiny box. It's an amazing stocking stuffer. It is a memory game where we're going to be giving gifts to other people around the table, but we don't know what the gifts they're giving us are unless we can remember what we saw earlier in the game. That means when somebody hands me a card and says, "I got you a cactus," I have to decide if I actually believe they're giving me a cactus or if that's actually a pair of ice skates. So the point of the game isn't really to be good at memory games. It actually gets more interesting the more people start to forget what gifts are where and have to just kind of wing it and see how they do. So I would grab this one for any group of people who just had 4 to 8 folks who wanted to be able to have a portable game they could bring anywhere and have a great time with in 20 or 30 minutes.
Tesseract is one of the coolest new cooperative games. It's just come out a little bit later in the year, and I'm a huge fan. We've got this alien technology that's going to blow up our entire planet if we don't contain it. It's represented by this 4x4 cube of actual dice, and we need to work together to deconstruct that Tesseract one die at a time, get those cubes into our lab, adjust them, manipulate them, collect sets and runs so that we can get them into the containment zone. I really love all of the levers that this game gives you to come up with really interesting strategies. This is a great cooperative game for people who really love working together, talking it out, sequencing a plan. All right, I'm going to do this, you're going to do that. This is a really great cooperative game for that.
Hey. Oh, come on. Please, come on. Got him. Insert card here is one of my favorites from the year. I think it's a cute little game that plays almost like a Uno variant or a get rid of your hand card game where you are trying to insert your cards into a range between 1 and 100 and trying to squeeze out your fellow opponents from being able to play their cards within the correct range. First one to get rid of their hand wins the game. I like this one for that group of people that just wants an easy to learn card game and something they can get out on the table quick in about 15 or so minutes through the game, as well as people who wanted to use that take that element where you get to squeeze each other out of the game. This one quickly devolves from, this is fun, I'm trying to get rid of my cards, into how can I get my friends back for squeezing me the game previous.
Forbidden Jungle, revisiting the Forbidden series. Our unluckiest explorers and adventurers in the world have found themselves stranded yet again, this time on a jungle planet where there's these insectoid things running around trying to eat you, and you've got to find this portal to make your way out. I love the Forbidden series, and this one takes it, I think, a step further, giving you different ways to start playing as far as setup goes, and just the levels of stuff that's going on between the shifting tiles around the board. Never had to move them before. That's awesome. These insects running around. Never had like an enemy like that before. And it's a great game for people who just want to play a cooperative game if you like the Forbidden series. And if you want a nice little challenge that isn't like overpowering and still plays in a short enough time, this is a fantastic pick.
It's a really short name. They have noses like this often. There are often noses that you could describe as being a...
hot pug?
Yeah. It's very distracting. It's eerie. I did.
You said, yep.
It's eerie.
Spooky?
Like that. If you need a game to take to Thanksgiving or any of your other holiday gatherings this year, it's gotta be You Can't Say It is a game where you're trying to describe a random combination of words like a hot pug or a sticky banjo to somebody else at the table. You've got these randomly, and you have to try to figure out a way to describe them to your team without using any thinking words like or anything else like that. Now, it's only natural that you're going to say at some point in this game, and when that happens, the other team is going to hit a loud bell that's going to throw you off your tracks, and then you're going to continue you to try to focus and describe the thing to your team. You're probably going to say again, the other team's going to keep scoring points and ringing a bell at you. It's a great party game. It's going to be really funny for any family who wants to get together. Totally family-friendly content, just very silly.
So we all really loved Wandering Towers. It is the game of wizards trying to race around a track, trying to get all of your wizards into the Raven's Keep while also finishing all of your potions. And it just so happens that you might be, trapping some of your opponents, making them forget where they are. It has some really, really great replayability because you have different spells that are going to change from game to game, and so you can make it quite simple, or you can make it quite exciting and chaotic if you want to put even more of those spells out. We just had a great time playing this one. Really great for anybody.
The Chanterelle.
Ding dong.
I had to send it.
No. Is it
This
7?
is the only one that could be.
Wonderwoods, you're out collecting mushrooms because who doesn't love mushrooms? If you don't love mushrooms, you had them from a can, and canned mushrooms are awful. These are fresh mushrooms in the woods, and you're going to go collect them. This game is awesome because you have an unknown kind of how that is scored because you don't know how many points these mushrooms you're gathering are worth. You have a vague idea because you have some cards that tell you what they're not worth, but you don't know what they are worth unless someone happens to share information that lets you know what that's also not worth, because then you can figure all this stuff out by putting this puzzle together. And at the end, it doesn't matter because you're probably wrong to begin with. I love this game. If you want to play something that can be a little chaotic, but still has some planning and strategy, because you have to figure out, is Andy bluffing? Or does he know something? I don't know. It's that type of game where it combines this bluffing element, this kind of almost like hidden identity kind of thing, because people are hiding point values from you. And it just is this great little game that plays fast and is super easy to learn. Plus you get cute little baskets of little mushrooms, and they're awesome.
Butts on Things. Another excellent little card game where we've got a whole bunch of butts on a whole bunch of different things like toilet paper, pineapples, etc. That's the highlight of the game, honestly. It's funny, goofy. The idea is you're going to be lining up a checkered grid of cards and trying to match the two ends of either a row or column to score yourself points. But not only that, is that you got to watch out for the dump truck, because when that backs up on the top of the deck, you got to grab as many butts as you possibly can. Now, I like this game a lot for families who want to play something just a little bit goofy, easy to learn, little card game that almost any age range can play. It says 8+, but I played it with my 6-year-old and this went fine. And I also recommend it for those preteens and middle school age kids who want to just play something funny with their friends, but you don't want to lean into too many of the adult themes. Cheese!
Yeah.
I can't.
All right, I had so much fun with 800-Pound Gorilla despite myself. It's just such a silly, quick-to-learn little game where you're grabbing bananas and coconuts and you're trying to decide which gorilla on the table is the biggest or the smallest, but they all look the same. It's really ridiculous. And before you can grab the stuff, you have to do silly actions like scratch under your armpit or yell cheese at everybody else, and then you're grabbing stuff, so it just made me laugh every time that I did well or poorly because it was just nonsense. So it's great for a family if you just want something that doesn't have too much thinking where you're just gonna race each other to grab stuff out of the middle of the table in a really funny way, and it's really great as a drinking game for folks of any age, 21 and over, if you're in America, who want something where you can race your friends and force them to take some drinks.
So Akropolis is one of our favorite new strategy games of the year. It is a tile-laying city building game where you actually get to stack tiles on top of each other in a really neat way. We're all building our own separate cities, but we're all shopping for tiles out of a central area in the middle of the table, trying to get the tiles that would be best for our cities. So I really like this for even if you just have 2 players or 3 or 4 players. It's a great strategy game along the lines of a Carcassonne or a Ticket to Ride. So if you enjoy building stuff, yeah, this is a great one.
All right, and the little silver dog in the room is that Monopoly Scrabble has also just come in. This is a game where you're going to build Scrabble words, and your Scrabble score is how far you're going to move along the Monopoly board. It's not just up to the dice to decide how far you're getting and what properties you get to. You get to have some say in that because you might have just the right word to get you to Boardwalk. We're really excited about this one. It's going to be amazing, and we can't wait for everybody to have a copy. All right, that's all of them. That's our top 10 games to gift in 2023. We're really excited about them. We hope they looked fun to you. They're all in our online store now. There's a link to those in the description, and that's about it for this week. We'll see you next time. Thanks.